Hello there. So in this video I've got a little bit of an admission to make and a little bit of an apology to give. And this story that I'm going to tell you is about Lepin fake Lego. What is Lepin? Well, it is, or was I should say, a manufacturer of counterfeit Lego sets. So they essentially took existing and discontinued Lego sets, made their own versions of exactly the same bricks, reprinted the Lego instructions, in many cases used the Lego official artwork, and then sold it on Aliexpress. Now, defenders of the Lepin brand, if you can even call it that, always jumped to the same sort of defences about Lepin. So saying things like, oh well, Lepin only sell discontinued Lego sets that you can't get hold of without paying extortionate prices to collectors or resellers, which isn't really a good enough excuse. But by far one of the strangest and most common excuses that I used to hear was people saying that, did you know that Lego stole the original brick design from Kiddicraft? As if there's some strange kind of justice in Lepin stealing Lego's designs, which there isn't. And there are some very good videos on YouTube discussing the Lego Kiddicraft issue, but it's not the same, and if you think it is, then I'm afraid you are just delusional. And that delusion actually is still evident to this day on the Lepin subreddit, which contains a load of people uploading pictures of the latest Lepin sets that they bought, and they're kind of talking about these Lepin sets as if it's a legitimate brand, intermixed with the odd, oh my order never arrived, oh there were parts missing, and is it a good idea to spend £1,000 buying something from somebody you don't know in China? Or going on about the amazing design that Lepin has produced, when in actual fact it's either a stolen Lego design or a Lego mock that a Lepin manufacturer has decided to take. But aside from those strange people, most people recognise that Lepin is a manufacturer of counterfeit products, selling items at a cheaper price because firstly they don't have the overheads of designing the products in the first place, but also they're using much less accurate machine tooling, so the precision of the bricks isn't as high, which is why their clutch power isn't as high. So yeah, it's a vastly inferior product to the real Lego item. And crucially, Lego noticed and they sued Lepin in China, and the Chinese courts ruled that Lepin had to stop selling certain sets that were definitely infringing Lego's copyright. So it is undeniable in law that Lepin was doing the wrong thing. I don't even know really why I have to discuss it. I can't quite believe that there are still people that defend Lepin. But anyway, this video isn't about that. As egocentric and self-obsessed as it sounds, this video is about me. So long before the court case, in about 2016, I knowingly bought Lepin. I used to buy smartwatches from Aliexpress and review them. They were so-called sort of Apple clones, watches that looked like Apple watches, but actually they were sort of running a slimmed down Android operating system or a sort of bespoke operating system, and I used to review those on my channel. If you want to know, that is really the starting point of my channel, not Lego as some of you seem to think it was. And you can still find some of those smartwatch reviews. And when I was looking for smartwatches to buy on AliExpress, I happened to find something that looked a lot like the LEGO Millennium Falcon. And I clicked on it, and it did look really like a proper Lego set, but it was branded as Lepin, and I was incredibly curious. My first assumption was that, okay, there's probably a Lego factory in China, and a few LEGO Millennium Falcons have gone walkies from the factory and somebody is trying to sell them off on AliExpress. And I kind of wondered what you would even receive through the post, because obviously when I bought these fake smartwatches, they looked a lot like Apple watches on the AliExpress listings, and even a lot of the pictures seemed to show screens from the actual Apple Watch. So I wondered whether or not if you ordered a Lepin Millennium Falcon, you actually received something completely different. And if you did receive the real thing, would it be boxed? What about the instructions? Would all the parts be there? How would they fit together? It was a very intriguing purchase to make. So basically, I bought one to see what it would be like. It arrived and wrapped in the kind of typical Chinese yellow packing tape in literal plastic bags, just bags and bags of fake Lego bricks that didn't have Lego or Lepin printed on the studs. There were some instructions, and I put the model together, and it was quite a lot like building a Lego set, but there were parts missing. The clutch power wasn't very good. There were certain parts of the model that consistently and persistently fell off, which was very annoying. So it was inferior to real Lego, but for something to do, I decided to review it and put a review of that LEGO Millennium Falcon on my channel, and it did exceptionally well. People were very interested to see what that set was like, and I took great care in that video to point out that I couldn't recommend buying it, although it was very interesting, because it is a counterfeit product. And indeed, I almost felt, although I knew it was Lepin, you do feel a little bit duped buying it, because you realise that actually you've got a fake product on your hands. Now, this is where I went kind of really wrong. I got so much feedback from that video and encouragement to make new Lepin reviews that I did buy a handful of other Lepin sets following that. Again, it was slightly out of interest, also because I am a fan of Lego and I saw it as an opportunity to get hold of discontinued Lego sets. But I was a little bit kind of conflicted, because I thought, well, aren't I just going to end up reviewing a genuine Lego set that's just made from inferior bricks? Anyway, I bought a few, they all arrived, and I started on a kind of weekly basis uploading reviews of Lepin sets, and it got quite competitive. There were other Lepin channels out there, one that I particularly remember called Gilly Bricks, who was kind of much better at reviewing the sets than me, and he got many more views on his videos than I did, and of course I was very jealous and tried to compete, and it became a bit of a race as to who could build the Lepin sets first. So yeah, it got quite intense, and for a while that was the focus of my channel. I reckon probably at most for about a month. Now, I read a lot of the comments that people leave on my videos, and I began to notice some comments from Lego fans on my videos being kind of less than pleased that I decided to review Lepin products. And, you know, I was in a little bit of denial to start with. I kind of thought, well, what's their problem? Why don't they just go and buy Lego? And then one day, and I think this guy is perhaps still actually a subscriber on my channel, he pointed out to me that promoting counterfeit products is actually against YouTube's terms of service. And I read that very carefully in the YouTube's terms and conditions, and I didn't really know what to think, because I wasn't promoting these Lepin sets. Most of the time I was clear to point out that they were counterfeit sets and that you shouldn't buy them. But I sort of thought, well, why am I reviewing them then, if it's not to promote Lepin? And do I really want to risk what at that time had been several years of building my channel? So I decided, kind of one afternoon, to remove all my Lepin reviews and to never review Lepin ever again, despite the fact that it was a little bit of a niche. Every time you uploaded a Lepin video, you'd get tens of thousands of views. But the more I thought about it, the more I saw the parallels between buying fake counterfeit Lego and buying a fake Gucci handbag. I wouldn't buy a handbag though, would I? You know, a Rolex watch, fake Rolex watch. My opinion of Lepin evolved, and I decided that actually, you know, even if you think Lego is expensive, Lego designs belong to the Lego company. The Lego brick designs belong to the company, and you don't just steal those because you want to spend a little bit less on the sets. I'm afraid I just don't buy the cost of Lego, if you pardon the pun, as an excuse for buying fake Lego. So then I was in another difficult situation, which is that I had sort of 4 or 5 Lepin sets sitting around, several unbuilt because I decided to not review them anymore, And I didn't want to give them to Goodwill or charity shops, as you call them here in the UK, because I don't think that's particularly ethical to give away a counterfeit product. And also, I began to realise that this fake Lego could potentially kind of flood the Lego ecosystem, and end up on places like Bricklink, for instance. Indeed, with the Lego DeLorean that I'm making at the moment, I don't know how I spotted it. There is one brick among the sort of 2,000 parts that I've ordered for that Lego DeLorean, which I believe is a fake Lego part, which somebody has sent me from Bricklink. I think it's not environmentally a good idea to just throw them in the bin, is it? So I've kept mine. I've got a box about that big, full of Lepin bricks, and I'm not going to throw it away. They're all jumbled up, and I think, one day I might make a fake Lego sculpture or something. I don't know, but I'm not giving them away, and I'm not throwing them away either. Now, this story might give you a little bit of an insight into why every time I upload a Lego review or a kind of Lepin discussion video that I instantly get a load of thumbs down, because I'm sort of hated a little bit by the Lepin community. They think I turned coat, they think I was a huge Lepin supporter. I never really was. I was just somebody who bought a handful of Lepin sets to see what they were like, and occasionally when I made a Lepin discussion video I tried to sort of spam the Lepin subreddit and got some people threatening to publish my Lepin reviews to kind of destroy my channel if it ever got too big. But I'm pretty confident that nobody's got those videos, and you know what, I don't think they are particularly incriminating. So I just wanted to kind of be honest and admit to you that I did this thing that I'm not particularly proud of. I don't want you to think that I'm a sort of puritanical Lego collector. I'm not hugely fanatical about Lego. It's a hobby of mine and I enjoy doing it, but I'm nowhere near in the league of people like Brickitect or Emadar Productions or Brixar. Those guys really are kind of the top of their game. The moral of the story is own up to things when you've done wrong, and don't buy Lepin because it's a counterfeit product. My kind Patreons are scrolling down the screen at the moment. They all get early access to my videos. In fact, they see my videos a week earlier than the rest of you, I was going to say scum, that wouldn't be very nice, would it? The rest of you non-Patreons. So I'll leave a link to Patreon down below if you're interested in contributing. There's also channel memberships where you can get some similar rewards. Check those out as well. And if you pledge more than $10 to my channel, I will read your name out. So the following people: Zachary Van Dyke, Damien Mellor, David Robinson, Paul Cotter, and Magnanimous Meg. Thank you very much for your kind pledges. Thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time for another video. Don't buy Lepin.